What's up, Knights of Vex, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we will be going over how to beat the crazy bugged out Jar event where you're starting with only 10 stacks of shield generator, which makes it extremely difficult. It took me a really long time to really narrow down the strategy, but I was able to. It took me 3 hours on my alt account, but on my main account it only took me 20 to 30 minutes, and I was able to beat tier 1 in only 3 tries. And it does require a certain turn order and certain mods to get it done, but as soon as you get it going, it's nothing crazy. You'll be able to get it down in, I'd say, less than 5 tries. The only person's mods that you have to change throughout the event is Boss Nass, and I'll tell you why. In the first event, you want him to be one of the slowest on the team so that he gets Retribution last, and you want the team to just have Retribution for a while for the counterattacks. But as soon as you're done with tier 1 and 2, you want to put your fastest mods back on Boss Nass so that he goes first. But I'm gonna show you guys all the mods for each character before we show the gameplay. But before you do that, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It really supports us, and we'd love to see us grow. But with that said, let's go into the modding. So guys, for tier 1 and 2, I have my Boss Nass locked in at 322 speed. And he is going to be one of the slowest characters on the team for the reason that you want him to go last so that he puts Retribution once they all taken their turns, and it's on even longer. The B1s don't have any ability to remove buffs like the raid, so they're going to be constantly getting counterattacked if they attack your Gungans. So this is why I have my boss at 145. You don't have to worry about anything with crazy offense or... I mean, protection is helpful for when the shield generator goes down, but other than that, it's really the turn order and the speed that really matters. So these are the mods that I used for tier 1 and 2, and these are speed mods, by the way. All of these are going to be speed sets. So with that, I'm going to show you the rest of the team for tiers 1 and 2. Alright guys, next up we got Boomadier, and the way I modded him for tier 1, and I modded him for the rest of the event the same way, but I wanted him to be the fastest for tier 1. I have him at 163 speed. He's the fastest character on the team. You want to be able to use his second special as often as possible so that you can gain those 2 stacks of shield generator. Really helps you with the survivability, and with the bugged event you're going to need as many stacks as possible. So he is going to be the fastest on your team. You don't have to worry about any other stats. Offense doesn't matter. Health and protection did not really matter for me. It's just the speed, so you want him going first. Now I'm going to show you the next Gungan. Next Gungan, we have Tarpals, and I have him as the second fastest on the team with a speed of 332, which is a bonus of 159. And what I pretty much did, guys, is I moved all my Galactic Legend mods to these characters with the mod sets, and this makes the event a lot easier to beat. You don't have to worry about hours and hours of RNG. You just got to get it over with and move those mods. So he's going to be the one that goes second on the team. And I will show you the strategy once we get into the video, but this is the turn order that you want, and these are the mods that I used. Now I'm going to show you the last Gungan. For Phalanx, guys, I ran a speed set with 164 speed. It clocks him in at the 4th fastest, or the 3rd fastest on the team. I pretty much, what I did was I moved my Lord Vader mods and just put him to Phalanx. So the turn order would be Boomadier first, Tarpals second, then Phalanx, then we have Boss coming in at last. So this is the specific turn order and the mods that I used for the first 2 tiers. You don't have to change Phalanx, Boomadier, or Tarpals for the rest of the tiers. I'm going to show you now the mods that I used for tier 3, 4, and 5 for Boss Nass, just to show you guys. And for tiers 3, 4, and 5, I put my fastest set back on Boss Nass at 341. I found the runs to be way easier when he was the fastest. I can remove the buffs off the Droideka and take more turns. So for the 3, 4, and 5, I would recommend making Boss your fastest. Now let's get into the gameplay. Alright guys, so I'm going to start with phase 1, and I just want to talk about my process of the opening play. So pretty much, you're going to want to pass the turn. First you're going to do the AoE here with Tarpals, and then you're going to pass the turn to Phalanx because he has the most turn meter, and then you're going to use the second special to get where they can always crit them. you want to get the Retribution up and then have Jabba use his first special. So that is the opening move. And then from here, I'm not using a basic because I don't want to land damage immunity on anybody, because I want them to be able to assist. And if they have damage immunity, they're not getting hit, they're not going to be able to counterattack. So that's why I used Jar Jar's second special over the first one. Now you're going to see they're constantly using counterattack. And my goal here is to get rid of the the droid battalion on each of them, not single target anybody. You want to make sure they get under 100. When they get under 100, they're not able to kill Jar Jar very easily when you lose your shield generator. Now, when I'm passing the second special from Boomadier, I'm trying to change turn meter with someone with the most turn meter. So that's the goal. You want to make sure that everyone has Retribution up at all times. That is the main focus of this strategy. And then here I'm focusing the droid with the most battalion stacks, which is the one all the way to the right. And then you're going to keep counterattacking. I got really good stacks of shield generator here, more counterattacks. And then I do not use the second special on Tarpals ever. You never want to do it. You don't want to mark a single droid. You want to be able to spread this damage out throughout the whole army of them. And then here I do that just to see if I was able to land it on 2 of them, so a little bit of potency might help. But you can see I got rid of the middle one. Counterattacks are working really well. They're all getting really close to being below 100% droid stack battalion. More counterattacks. We did lose the shield generator there, but now Jar Jar is able to assist. And then here I'm targeting the droid with the most stacks again. See, they're not really hitting Jar Jar that hard. There is a point in this battle where it gets a little bit dicey, but still we were still fine and we got the win. Here I did a basic just to be able to get, I think, a little bit more protection on the assist. Here Jar Jar gets a little bit crazy low there, but we're able to squeak it out. This was definitely not the most ideal run, but on my alt account I did the same thing and it worked right away. I'm telling you, 2 to 5 tries, this worked for me great. He has got the damage immunity that makes him even safe, and that is the first phase right there. So if you just follow that strategy, you follow the mods, you'll be able to get through it no problem. The turn order really does help. The Retribution, there is RNG with the bonus turn, but as long as you just follow this, you don't use any abilities you're not supposed to, you'll be absolutely fine. Let's move to the second tier. Alright guys, so for tier 2, this is the strategy. I used the same mods that I did in the first. Here you want to just try to get the same thing going. You want to get the Retribution up, you want to stun them. You want to always make sure you get the buffs off of Droideka. That is the #1 thing you have to do. If Droideka has all those buffs, he's just going to murk you. So here, I'm going for the buff removal over anything, and I'm targeting Droideka. You want to get him down. This phase is not the hardest out of them all. I think the hardest one is the tier 1, and then tier 5 can be a little tricky. But if you follow the strategy that I'll show you, it's really not that hard. So here, I'm getting the Retribution back, and then I'm putting the second special to get that vulnerable on all of them so I can land those crits. Here I am using Boss Nass to assist this to get a little bit more damage and call someone to assist. And then from here you're going to see that the B1 is marked. So he's going to, when he does his AoE, he's going to get hit, which is very good. And he'll slowly go down from the AoE counterattacks. So that's very helpful here. We get more stacks removed from this. More counterattacks. Very important, you want to keep that taunt also on Phalanx. Here I swap turns with Boss Nass, get more Retribution going for the counterattacks. We're just slowly chipping them away. Here I use Jar Jar Special for an AoE. Get more of that removal going. This one's really straightforward, it's not that difficult. Here again, I'm trying to get rid of Droideka because he's the biggest threat. We're still doing great on the 6 stacks of shield generator. Do the AoE to get my taunt back up. Here I knew then I wasn't going to be doing that much damage, but now it's very important that I get rid of the buffs on Droideka. I'm waiting for either Tarpals or my boss Nass to take a turn. So from there, the counterattacks was able to remove the buff. Now I cleanse and get my taunt back, and I'm able to get retribution. And now I'm going for Droideka again, just to see if I can get him down. And he's definitely a little tanky. I mean, you might be able to get a little lucky with Deathmark, but at no point in any of my strategy I was able to get a successful kill off Deathmark. I'm constantly going to be using the second special to get my stacks back on my shield generator. Another cleanse. Trying to get Droideka down as quickly as I can. Very tanky. He's able to get that damage immunity again. He keeps getting healed by B1, but there's no threat of me dying here by anyone. These battles just take a little bit to get through. Here I use the second special to just get some debuffs supplied. I think I just wanted to get rid of the stats. I was getting tired of trying to kill Droideka. I think the damage over times do take them out here. But it's pretty straightforward. This one, you're not going to need that much RNG, or it's not going to be too difficult. It just takes a very long time, as you can see. And then I just decided to get rid of them. Then you can slowly just work your way on the sides. The B1's going to do his AoEs and then keep removing the Droid Battalion on the counterattacks. Nice AoE. Constantly using Boss Nass to swap turn meter, because I really want that retribution. I wish my Droideka was this tanky. It's kind of annoying. But I think here I'm able to get a big hit. Yep. Landed some expose. And that's pretty much phase 2. It definitely takes a little bit of time, but with these mods I was able to get it, I think, the first 1 or 2 tries. It really was not that difficult. Phase 1 definitely took me a while, but this one, no problem. And if you follow the mods, very straightforward. Let's go to phase 3. Alright guys, heading into phase 3, this is where I would recommend changing the mods for Boss Nass, where you put the fastest set on him. Puts him at a 341 speed, which puts him faster than Boomadier. And it was very helpful for me this phase for removing the buffs. The key to this phase, guys, is you want to make sure Droideka does not have the damage immunity to tenacity or the resilient defense, I believe. It just amplifies their damage tremendously. So that's why Boss Nass goes first. He removes the buffs. I swap turns with him and I get the retribution going, which is going to help with the counterattacks. And then here, I'm trying to get rid of Droideka as quickly as I can. They're very tanky, but as you can see, they're not doing as much damage without the buffs. I start with the second special on Phalanx just to be able to land that vulnerable, so I'm landing those crits. Helps with the damage. Here the counterattacks are very helpful for taking out the B1s. I'm calling Boss Nass to assist, just to get another person to get called to assist and do even more damage. Here, more counterattacks. I have to attack B1 because he's marked, but we almost go down there, but we end up living. I get more retribution going for the counters. And here I use the first special to just get more damage going, get more plasma. Shield generator stacks from that. I saved the Dispel because they don't have any buffs. Use Jar Jar's second special to land more debuffs, more frustration. Now you can see that they got their buffs back, so I'm going to wait for either Tarpals or for I knew that my Boss Nass was going to take a turn to remove the buff, so that's why I waited for that. So my Boss Nass goes next. I remove all the buffs. And I got the heal immunity, which is very, very helpful. That they cannot heal. The Phalanx is standing strong. Keep spamming that Retribution, big counterattacks. Slowly chipping away. Keep doing the second special. No danger of going down yet. Got 3 stacks of my generator. And mind you guys, this is with the bug generator, so this is going to be even easier when you get to the 20 stacks like you're supposed to. So it is possible to unlock him with this bugged event. And should be able to get him down. You see how tanky he is after all those crits? It's very, very hard to get them down. These battles take very long. It's very annoying. But we get Jar Jar out of it, so it is worth it. Here, I got rid of all the B1s. Now I'm just trying to get rid of the Jordicas. I just gotta really control those buffs, guys. It's really important. Let the counterattacks take out the B1s, and your AoEs take out the B1s. Try to get those Jordicas down as fast as you can. Get a big, nice mass assist from Jar Jar. Calling boss Nass. More retribution. And I already know that this one's going to be a win. So, not too difficult for a phase 3. I know it can definitely take a couple retries with the RNG, but if you just have the correct mods, the good speed, and use the right abilities at the right time, you should be absolutely fine. And with this coming to an end, phase 4 I found to be the easiest. I beat that first try every single time, but let's show that strategy. Alright guys, so for phase 4 I kept the same exact mods. This one I found very straightforward. I was just spamming all my abilities as best as I could. You want to make sure you get the retribution, and then with Jar Jar's basic, he applies tenacity up. So when Maul does his AoE, you're all going to counterattack him if you have tenacity up and retribution. So it's really not that hard. I'm going to put this on a little bit. Now I'll play out the whole thing. I want you guys to see. It's just pretty much calling to assist. He does his AoE, and you're going to swap turns whoever doesn't have days there. Everyone had days, so we couldn't. But I'm just spamming all my... I do a basic there just to see if I can get some tenacity up. Land an AoE. You're just chipping away at him. As long as you have the taunt up, he's not going to get through you. We were able to get some good debuffs there, locked ones. Some nice shock. He does have a cleanse in his kit somehow, where he'll cleanse some of the debuffs at one point. There. I did not get the tenacity up there. We got Death Mark. There's no danger of ever losing this one. He does his AoE. Second special. Pretty much just spamming abilities, guys. That's all you're doing for this one. It's not that difficult. Out of all the phases, this one was by far the easiest in my opinion. Landing locked ability block, which is nice. Getting some more damage. This is AoE. But pretty straightforward, guys. You just, whenever you have a special ability up, you're going to use it. Whenever you're dazed, you want to cleanse. Whenever Jar Jar has his abilities, you use it. There, he got a daze and didn't get the tenacity up. But you're able to cleanse it off right away. He's definitely tanky. Another special ability. Apply vulnerable for some crits. More counterattacks. Always use that when it's up because you get more stacks on your shield generator. And more debuffs. Jar Jar does his thing, gets everyone to assist. Again, calling boss. Doing that. Pretty much very easy. It's just, these battles take really long. You gotta have a lot of patience. Again, this one took me 30 minutes on my main account. My other account took me 3 hours just to figure out the right modding. And the event is bugged, so that didn't help. But I believe they are releasing a fix soon, so that it'll make this even easier. And he's close to going down. And then I think he goes down here. Nope, almost. Should be here. See how crazy tanky? You think he's gonna go down, he's not going down yet. Here? Nope. Crazy how long this took. How long these battles are. And that is phase 4, tier 4. Not hard, guys. Very manageable. I think you guys can do it with these mods right away. But let's get to tier 5. I know this one's considered the second hardest tier, but I've narrowed down the strategy very well. Let's go into it. Alright guys, so for tier 5, it's same mods as 3, 4, 5. Strategy for the first phase, get rid of the Jordicas right away. They are a lot less tanky. So you want to make sure boss is first. He removes those buffs. And you want to make sure that you get your taunt up, your retribution. So for here, I go for an AoE. They're all blinded, so they all get called to assist. I use another AoE. Yeah, the Jordicas in this phase are much more manageable. Much more manageable. Not hard to get rid of. Here, I get my buffs going. Jar Jar goes down. Here, get rid of the other Jordica. And then once you're done with that Jordica, you go right for Stab and just get rid of them right here. Big hit. And then for this phase, you want to, for the B1s, you just want to get them down. The closer they get to lower stacks, you want to save your special abilities, so you'll do basics only. For here, I had no problem doing it because I have a lot of stacks, you got to get through them. So you just slowly chip away. And I like to make sure I have 9 stacks or 10 stacks of shield generator going into the last phase, just in case for any craziness. I ended up finishing the run with, I believe, 20 stacks of shield generator on my team, so very helpful. But this first wave isn't that difficult as long as you do the right turn order, get rid of the Jordicas, save the specials for later on. Here I'm just trying to slowly chip away. Here I do the AoE just to get more stacks back. I'm back to 11, but when he does the AoE, you'll lose them. There I should have done the first special for Boomadier, but ended up doing it, I think, later on in phase 1. And as you can see, the counterattacks are massive in this phase, and in all phases. The Retribution is what helps you get these generator stacks down as quickly as you can. And then also the first special on Boomadier is very helpful for removing a ton of stacks. But you want to make sure you're saving those specials for the last phase. It's very important. I was able to get Tarpals to go first every time for wave 2. And then I could stun them off the gate, which is very helpful. So for this one, you're going to have, it's a 3-person team, and they revive. Newt revives, and he brings back Jordica when you take him out. So for here, my strategy was, same thing as the previous phases. You want to make sure Jordica never has buffs, ever. Second thing, focus B1 Battle Droid. He's going to constantly be healing that team if you don't land heal immunity. So my main target was to get rid of the B1, get rid of those stacks. Third strategy, never use extortion. It does nothing to you. It's nothing you have to ever press or worry about. Ignore it. So as long as you follow these steps, get rid of B1 Battle Droid, make sure Jordica never has any buffs. If you have to remove buffs, use Tarpals basic or use Boss Nass's second special. Very, very important. Otherwise, they're going to either one-shot your tank or they're going to get rid of your shield generator. And the fourth thing is, make sure that your Phalanx is taunting. So if you have to swap turns with Phalanx to make sure he gets he's able to taunt, make sure you do it. There's a couple ways to make him taunt. His first special, and then Boss Nass's first special as well, gives him taunt. Very important so they don't target the shield generator. So as you can see, B1 is almost down. Here I swap with, I believe, Boss Nass to get rid of the buffs on Droideka, so that we don't have to deal with his craziness. And I see that New Gunry's marked, so I had to hit him. I get a big hit. And here I get rid of B1, and I'm in really good shape here. I don't have to worry about any crazy AoE hitting my shield generator. I just have to be cautious of the Droideka one-shotting my Phalanx. So I have to make sure that he doesn't have too much charge stacks, and he does not have any buffs. This one takes a long time because New Gunray is so tanky. Even Droideka is tanky, and then they revive. You got to get rid of them again. But this is pretty much straightforward, guys. Once you get to this part, it's going to be hard to lose. Never use Extortion. Remove the buffs off Droideka. Make sure Phalanx is taunting, and get rid of B1 Battle Droid first. If you do all this for Phase 5, you'll be absolutely be unlocking Jar Jar really quick. But I'll let this play out and just show you how it goes. There is I believe some of my guildmates ignored the second Droideka just to go for New, but I was nervous of him just taking out my team that I didn't want to even risk it, so I went for Droideka just to play it safe. But maybe if you guys want to try and go for New twice, see if that works, be my guest. And again, guys, this is what worked for me. There's a ton of other strategies out there, and if you guys figured out a strategy on your own that I didn't mention, please let me know in the comments. And if this did help you out, also let me know in the comments. I want to see if this guide is very helpful. It helped me with my RNG and saved me a lot of time. So I hope it saves you guys a lot of time as well. But yep, just slowly chipping away at him. And then here is where they revive. And then the first time I witnessed this, guys, I was like freaking out. I was like, what just happened? I guess I didn't realize, I didn't watch another video of this occurring, but when I saw it happen, I definitely started to panic a little bit. I did not want this perfect run to go to waste. So I just go for the Droideka, and then I'm not worried about the shield generator stacks going down because it's so high. But just very tedious. I don't know where I would rate this event compared to the other ones. Just from personal experience, the one event that took me the longest, that really just made me almost not quit the game, but almost made me delete the app for like a weekend, was the Skywalker event when it first came out. I had very under-geared tunes, and it took me maybe 12 hours straight of trying. It was so difficult, and I had the perfect run, and I only was able to get him to 6-star, and I couldn't even fully utilize him because he needed guild event currency. But that's regardless. I think I would rate this one, if you had to put it on difficulty, I would put it right below maybe Grand Inquisitor. I think Grand Inquisitor was a little bit more annoying. This one, if you get the right mods right, you should be absolutely fine. But let me know if you guys think this event is difficult or completely unbearable. Just the time aspect of this, it just takes so long. That's the one downfall to this one. But here I'm able to take out Droideka, and I knew if there was I wish there was an auto button, otherwise I would just auto it here. But it just takes so long. Here I just go for the damage because I don't need the shield generator stacks. The heal immunity is nice, the damage over time is nice. Nice big lock debuffs from Jar Jar. Always using Boss Nass to assist, that seems to be my go-to. Swap turns with the tank, because it's the only one I can swap with. I wish mine knew it had this much health in Grand Arena. But rating the event, I like the cutscenes, I like the battles, I like the artwork, very interesting. Definitely way too long in my opinion, but like, these are cool cutscenes, guys. They did some really good work, and it's kind of funny that you get to see Jar Jar do his thing. But that wraps up the Jar Jar event. This is what I used to unlock him. I hope this guide helps you, and I hope you guys are excited to use Jar Jar. If you have the Datacron for the set that only lasts a month, I'm happy you get to utilize it for a little bit. I'm happy I get to utilize it as well. And again, thank you for stopping in. I hope this helped you. If you guys do find these videos constructive and helpful, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to become a Knight of X. And I will see you guys in the next video. May the Force be with you all.